There's 33 ayes, 15 nays, 1 excused not voting, Mr. President.
LB 574 passes with the emergency clause.
A controversial bill restricting gender-affirming care for minors with an amendment restricting abortion at 12 weeks has passed in the Nebraska legislature. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Molly Hudson. The bill now heads to Governor Pillen's desk for his signature or veto. 3 News Now reporter Alex Whitney followed the debate today and reports from the Capitol.
There hasn't been a bill with a bigger impact this session than LB 574. The controversial bill that looks to ban gender-affirming care and abortion brought hundreds of protesters to the Capitol. But despite the pleas from those protesters, doctors and businesses alike, the legislature would vote to pass the controversial bill. The 2023 legislative session has been defined by the ongoing debate over LB 574. Since February, there hasn't been a single day of debate that hasn't included some discussion about the bill, and it all came to a head during Friday's final reading of the bill. Hours before its 2 p.m. start, opponents filled the rotunda of the Capitol, chanting, shouting, doing whatever they could to make their voices heard by lawmakers. Disruptions in the chamber put a stop to debate for a short time as opponents shouted at senators and threw dirty tampons from the balcony onto the floor. Those efforts to stop the bill would ultimately be unsuccessful, and LB 574 would eventually pass its final reading. While the vote is final, the battle over gender-affirming care looks like it is far from over. It will take some time for the consequences of Friday's vote to play out in Nebraska, but legal challenges to LB 574 are looking like all but a guarantee.
Because when the state gets sued, that is on the taxpayer's dime. So in terms of being good stewards of taxpayer dollars, if you're voting for this bill today, you are literally throwing taxpayer money down the drain because you know the legal challenges are coming.
Stay tuned later tonight. We'll be talking more about today's vote on LB 574 and some of the consequences that could come from passing this controversial legislation. Here in Lincoln, Alex Whitney, 3 News Now.
Under LB 574, gender-affirming surgery for Nebraskans younger than 19 will be banned. The chief medical officer for the state will make the rules for puberty blockers and hormone therapy. There would be some exceptions for minors who've already started the treatment. Violations could lead to sanctions against doctors. Now taking a look at what the bill does for abortion rules. They will be banned after 12 weeks of pregnancy. It does not apply to ectopic pregnancies, removing a fetus that has already died, procedures to save life or health of the fetus or mother, accidental termination, or in vitro fertilization. There are exceptions for rape, incest, and to save the life of the mother. It would outlaw any instrument, device, drug, or substance to be used with the intent to perform an abortion. During today's session, 6 people were arrested at the Capitol. 2 people were arrested for obstructing a government operation and disturbing the peace for throwing objects onto the legislative floor. 2 women were arrested after troopers say they refused order to leave the balcony. Later, troopers said a man tried to prevent a sergeant at arms from opening a door and refused to leave, so he was arrested. During that arrest, troopers say a woman tried to push past one of them and punched the trooper in the chest when they tried to hold her back. All of them were held in the Lancaster County Jail. Governor Jim Pillen has already issued a response to the bill's passage. He wrote in a statement, all children deserved a chance to grow and live happy, fruitful lives. This includes preborn boys and girls, and it includes children struggling with their gender identity. These kids deserve the opportunity to grow and explore who they are and want to be, and they can do so without making irreversible decisions that should be made when they are fully grown. But Out Nebraska calls the bill a major setback for bodily autonomy. The organization said in a statement the senators who supported this bill have failed to protect the rights of their constituents, prioritizing personal beliefs over the voices of the people they were elected to serve. From initial committee hearings being cut short to senators dodging personal meetings with concerned families, they have continuously disregarded pleas from families who will be directly impacted by these restrictions.